Here be giants, a phrase often marked on ancient maps that would usually denote a strange, intangible fear, a time where civilization would be awestruck by the vast expanse of our planet and all the strange, inexplicable mysteries that populated. In folklore, the concept of the giant is as old as the hills that they presumably used as their pillows, and through the ages, it's been wrapped up in more allegorical tales than you can climb a beanstalk with. But what if they were onto something? What if those whisperings of a time long forgotten were real? Let's find out. Hello internet, what's going on? And once again, welcome back to the most inquisitive channel on YouTube, Life's Biggest Questions. As per usual, I'll be your disembodied floating voice, Jack Finch. As today, we curiously ask the question, what if giants were real? Roll the clip.
Is you at home, Runt?
No.
You? Is Chabbily.
For the curious amongst you, that clip was from 2016's The BFG, starring Mark Rylance and the awesome Jermaine Clement in the relatively decent adaptation of Roald Dahl's absolutely awesome novel of the same name. And yeah, whilst the animated version of The BFG is far superior, it's not the same as Jermaine Clement playing the voice of the giant flesh lump eater, because he's got a boo-boo. But whilst being a fantastic, if not quite surreal, visual cue of just one interpretation of a giant, thankfully for us, folklore and ancient religious texts seem to have quite a well-rounded worldview of what giants could or would have looked like if they were real. Which, in that case, let's take a look, shall we? To begin with, although the hypothetical parameters of this particular Life's Biggest Question has all kinds of horrifying and terrifying implications of a world gone mad where us, tiny little human beings, would live in hidey holes and deep mountain strongholds, where the giants couldn't manage to fit their huge bodies through, where humanity lived in constant fear of a race of giant man-eating titans, it's pretty much a given that that would be the situation. And when we address this initial question, it's relatively easy to imagine it being that way, because for the most part it probably would, and you only need to watch the animated TV series Attack on Titan to find out just exactly how awful that kind of existence would be. But the often overlooked fact is, what if giants were real? As in, what if in the ancient halls of history our planet was already or had already been populated by a race of giants? And what if somewhere down the line, maybe, just maybe, we were those giants, or at the least we were distantly related to them anyway? Let me explain. Have you ever thought of it this way? Why in so many interpretations and incarnations of folk tales and mythological epics of heroes saving their city and or town and or village do the same old villains seem to take the top spot? Why is it always an evil giant that lives in a mountain or behind a hill or in a swamp? I mean, perhaps the answer is easy. They're big and scary, and it makes for some pretty bone-chilling bedtime stories, but we need only look back through mythology to find a different kind of answer. And from the off, we have the Abrahamic mythologies and the Nephilim, a race of giant, technologically advanced warriors. We have the Anakites and the Emites, the Amorites and the Rephates. The Abrahamic Bible tells a tale of Gog and Magog, and then we have David, who heroically defeated the giant Philistine Goliath. The Armenians spoke of Hake, the leader of a race of giants that helped construct the legendary Tower of Babel. The Norse and the Greeks spoke of the Titans and the giants, the Cyclopean offspring of the gods, the frozen northern Hyperboreans and the Nordic Jotun, who emerged from the more primal places of our earth to wage an eternal elemental war against us. Jainism, Hinduism and Buddhism all speak of the Daityas or the Aras, a concept that correlates the size of a sentient being with their cosmological significance, which in some cases denotes these giants as being up to 6 miles tall. Yes, miles. In ancient Britain, Ireland, Wales and Scotland, the ancient Celts speak of pretty much every hill or small mountain being the head and shoulders of some perturbed ancient giant. As the legend goes, the Giant's Causeway of Northern Ireland was created after an Irish and Scottish giant had a squabbling match and decided to go toe-to-toe to see who was the larger of the two. And in fact, mythology, folklore and ancient religious practices aside, there have even been instances in contemporary history of those allegedly discovering evidence of giants. In the winter of 1890, the notorious French anthropologist Georges Vacher de la Puge claimed to have allegedly discovered a body that measured 11 feet and 6 inches tall in the Bronze Age cemetery of Cassonneau-les-Lez. In 1894, there were several press accounts of the discovery of bones of giant humans unearthed at a prehistoric cemetery in Montpellier in France, which, if it is to be believed, denoted evidence of a race of entities that measured measured between 10 and 15 feet in height. Although the reports document that these bones were then sent to the Paris Academy for further study, no evidence of them currently exists. Convenient, eh? But let's instead pause for a moment and go one further and assume that all of these allegorical references through the rich tapestry of our global culture are indeed a matter of fact, and does indeed allude to a race of giants that populated this planet, that somehow, somewhere down the line, did get wiped out in some kind of extinction event. What would have those creatures look like? Because despite all of these mysterious and fantastic claims, science already has a pretty well established answer. And that answer is, giants cannot exist. Well, bipedal, two-legged giants anyway, because obviously elephants and giraffes exist, and those guys are awesome. The one fly in this ointment is the square cube law, which states that as an object grows or shrinks in size, its volume grows and shrinks faster than its surface area. You see, somewhere along the line, due to the cross-sectional effect, a creature's muscles, bones, and organs cannot strengthen concurrently, and as a result, their legs wouldn't be able to support the weight of the rest of their body. It's why we have elephants, but not giant humans. You see, because if these giants of antiquity did exist, physically speaking, they wouldn't be able to walk under their own body weight, nor would their organs be able to power such a massive frame, and nor would they be able to live long enough to develop the vast, complicated societies that allegedly existed in the halls of ancient history. So then, what's the answer? Why is it that our ancient culture paints such a succinct, intricate view of seemingly the same creature? The giant of antiquity, the Nephilim, the Titan, the Jotun, the Apkallu of Sumeria, Enoch and Tartarus, tall tales, literally, that imagine a very different, a very vivid civilization before our own. But then on the other hand, science, which constitutes incredibly substantiated studies of archaeology, anthropology, biology and physics, very quickly and very rapidly muzzles the notion and says, no, it can't have happened, it never could have happened. What are we missing? How are we even missing anything at all? It may seem like there are only two clear-cut possibilities, and in many ways there are. Either giants did exist and mythology is founded in some semblance of ancient truth, or giants didn't exist and the human imagination is incredible and envisioning vile creatures and creations of something far, far bigger than us. Either way, it's pretty damn interesting, isn't it? Well, what did you guys think? Do you agree, disagree, have any other way of looking at it? Let us know your thoughts down in the comment section below, as well as any intriguing insights of your own. Before we depart from today's video, let's first take a quick look at some of your more creative comments from over the past few days. Metal Berserker says, Jack the Beast. Wow! Well, hopefully I'm taking that as a compliment, and if that's the case, thank you, Metal Berserker the Beast. Wow! And then Carl Smith says, let's throw some stuff at some stuff. Hey, that's my line, but yeah, sounds good to me. Anyway, on that note, unfortunately, that's all we've got time for in today's video. Just stick around all the way until the end. If you were a fan of this video or just Life's Biggest Questions in general, then please be a dear and hit that thumbs up button, as well as that subscribe bell. And I'll be seeing you in the next one. As per usual, I've been your this morning floating voice Jack Finch. You've been watching Life's Biggest Questions. Until next time, you take it easy.